Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is Scribes and Scrolls, the Candlekeep Mysteries, Book 3, The Book of the Raven. This is Chapter 30, My Brother's Keeper. You can find us here every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/Mini Terrain Domain. In just a moment, we are going to get into our Dungeons and Dragons adventure. But first, a couple of quick announcements. First off, if you look up over above Jordan's head in the upper right-hand corner there, you'll notice some icons for some books. Those are called domain tomes. Currently, the book club has 27 domain tomes, and the tinier ones up above there are limited edition domain tomes that are just for me. I can only ever have 5 of them, which I have now, and I can only do a couple of things with, I don't know what happened with you guys again every week. At least you didn't get motion sickness this time.
I've grown accustomed. We're good.
Right. Anyway, the domain tomes are a way that you can influence the game. Subscribing, gifting subs, cheering with bits, tips on Ko-fi, all that kind of stuff contributes at 500 bits is a domain tome, $5 tip, a subscription, all that stuff earns them domain tomes that they can use for things like gaining advantage, re-rolling, making me re-roll. So keep that in mind when you see them using those up. Let's see. So I covered domain tomes. Jordan, actually, I think you had a couple things you wanted to plug.
Yeah. So 2 quick things. First off, this Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, over on TTRP GIF's channel is going to be the 2nd annual TTRPG Awards, run by the amazing Robo Goblin. So make sure to tune in because we're actually up for one of the awards, which is pretty awesome. As well as I wanted to plug real quick. Robo's got some family members that unfortunately got COVID. And he's having to work overtime at this time. And he's fully funding the awards. He actually sends out awards that he puts together, and ends up sending them out to everybody that ends up winning. So I was going to just plug his Ko-fi at this time if you feel so inclined, even if you just retweet it. A lot can go a long way, and I just know he's very stressed out at the moment, and I would really love to try to give back to somebody that gives so much to the community, especially giving us this event, which everybody I think is very excited about. So I would really love it. I'll post the link in chat.
Ashenworks has already beat you to it.
That's my mod.
Nice.
Thanks, Ashen. But again, tune in for on Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TTRP GIF's channel. That will be the award ceremony. I'm going to be presenting, and there's a number of fantastic people up for these awards. The other thing real quick actually has to do with Ashenworks. Ashen and Mischievous Red had the cat that just took ill. So they are raising some money to help cover some vet bills. So there's currently a challenge in place on Mischievous Red's Ko-fi. If they somehow get to $400, I will do the 1 chip challenge. Ooh. I believe Duval has offered to do it at 500. Ashen has offered to do it, I think, at like 155. So we're just trying to help them out because Ashen and Red do a ton of stuff here on Mini Terrain Domain. He plays in the Salt Marsh game, which is tomorrow. And he's also an amazing mod on my channel. And while I can't support him financially at this point, I want to try and signal boost as much as possible. What?
1 chip challenge.
There you go, Dwight. That's what I was going to ask.
What's the 1 chip challenge?
Super duper
super hot, super spicy chip.
Super spicy chip. Like literally, they give you gloves to actually eat the chip. It's really spicy.
Just look it up on
Shaq do it?
TikTok and YouTube. And
how much money are they trying to raise?
Right now the current goal is 155, but
Ashenworks just put the totals in chat.
Yeah.
and
What's-
described
is
it as death in a chip.
Yeah,
Is it, so
Okay.
so is it like a potato chip?
It's
Yeah.
like a tortilla
it's
chip.
literally a chip
Like
that
the
has
Dorito.
a
So-
box, and it's almost like a Pringle or Dorito, and literally
Right.
it has like gloves that it comes with because it is so hot.
Yeah.
People throw up from this challenge
Oh my
because
goodness.
it's so hot. But listen, I will do it for a
So
good
Ricky, are we
cause.
doing 2 at 600?
Let's go. And I just want to let you know that it's dragon on the way in and
Mhm.
dragon fire on the way out.
Oh yeah,
So-
100%.
So
go.
Awesome.
Yeah, Dwight, I'm down. If you want to do it, let's go.
Okay. Mark it down, Ashton.
So
Thank you.
just to be clear, you and Ricky, you're going to each do it, or you're going to do 2?
We'll do it too.
We're doing 2.
Two
two
apiece,
each.
or
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh my
I love
God.
that Dwight
Yeah.
started this out by asking, "What is this chip?" and then immediately doubling down.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, Gordon Ramsay was like, "Hell no!" Like,
I
So
I have
No,
no
the-
shame when it comes to charity. I will put my body on the line.
600
That's
for a good
Ashen.
cause.
600
Yeah.
Ashen. Wow,
And I need a full body cleanse, so
Right.
I'm down for it.
that'll do it.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Jake. That was it for me.
All right.
Wow.
While I'm saying a couple more things, Dwight, can you throw in yours and Ricky's or PM Ashen with your Twitter handles, because he's going to update his tweet.
Let's go.
All right. So
Holy crap.
Jordan went through a whole bunch of stuff there. I had a couple
Sorry.
comments I wanted to make on that real quick. We are nominated for a TTRP GIF award for I forget the category already.
Most wholesome.
Most wholesome.
Yeah.
And Gary and myself and the Talon and Claw crew are also nominated for the Liberation of the Evangeline 4 and
The one shot.
the one shot, and
Another one shot.
the Cyberpunk Independence is nominated, correct? For a couple,
Yes,
aren't they?
Yep, Cyberpunk is Cyberpunk Independence. My Cyberpunk actual play is nominated for 2 awards: the most badass moment and the most feels moment. And of course, we can't forget that for the Jaspers Game Day event we held at TalonCon in March, that Ali's ass is also nominated for the most hilarious moment.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
We are
couple of
big
my-
fans of Robo here. So I also want to just emphasize putting your support between Robo as well. We are big fans. So with all of that, I'm just gonna say check our sponsors. You can type !sponsor, !NTD Claw, !RWP to check out the sponsor links. And then the last thing I want to say before we get into our game is just a reminder that you matter. Your presence on this earth makes a difference, whether or not you believe it. We say it before every single game, and we mean it when we say it. Look, mental health is something that we take seriously here, and we understand that everybody has good days and bad days, and it's okay to not be okay. I had a bad brain day last week, and I was all up in my head, and took some self-care and was able to sort of mitigate that. But I'm thankful that I have a therapist, and I have coping mechanisms, and that I have learned, and I have friends that I know I can go to talk about. But not everybody has somebody or knows where to get started when it comes to mental health. And that's why all you have to do, Jordan's already put it in the chat, simply type help, !help in the chat, and that'll bring up the Find a Helpline URL. Findahelpline.com is an incredible resource. I encourage you to click on it, save it in your bookmarks, keep it for yourself, keep it for a friend, and just take a look at it. It's super simple to use, and an invaluable resource, in my opinion. With that, I think it's time to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Hey.
All right, our book club has been on quite the journey of late, following the trail of a book left for Teera by a raven, following a mysterious map, meeting kobolds and dragons and werebears. Oh my! They met a whole kindness of ravens called the Scarlet Sash, who asked them to keep an eye out for any evil artifacts. They were also kind of watching over the Shadowfell crossing that, unfortunately, the only way to access was by digging up the family graves, especially that of the youngest child that had passed away many years before. Doc wanted no part in this and left the book club to their own devices while he sat patiently throughout the night in the wagon. While the rest of the group dealt with a number of associates of one Cain Mogram, somebody from Assyria's past that showed up. And Cain was mysteriously pincushioned by a number of crossbow bolts and fell into the shadow crossing, appearing on the other side, where eventually Mizya and Vorn also joined Assyria and Teera, who had crossed over. After they dealt with a little bit of an undead problem over there, they got to talking to Cain and discovered that Cain is apparently Teera's long-lost brother Torin, whom she has not seen for 16 years and has been looking for the last 16 years.
How dare you put that in quotation marks? How dare you? Okay.
I
no,
dare.
just-
I dare.
Okay.
Teera
Okay.
has entered the chat.
Okay.
As Teera and Cain had a talk while Mizya and Vorn watched on. Assyria and Soren were very much giving side eye during the whole conversation as Cain monologued for a bit his backstory, filling in where he'd been. And when it was all said and done, everybody welcomed Cain in because they all trust him implicitly. He lied. Teera's just happy to be back reunited with her brother, while others have thoughts and feelings about this. They wound up having to spend the night in the well, actually they had to deal with the ghost of the Baron Brantifax and his trusty Mastiff. But after doing so, they recovered the jade turtle, and Assyria picked up a little souvenir statue of her own that she just can't seem to put down.
Yeah.
And then they spent the night and traversed back to the material plane, where they were reunited with Doc, and presumably everything's going to be just fine. And that's where we're going to pick up, actually, in a little bit of a different place, though.
Mer.
High overhead. Let's try that again.
I got Jordan good. That was
I was going to try to let it go, and I saw that you got Jordan.
Sorry.
All right. High overhead, the waning half moon travels slowly across the night sky, momentarily flickering out of sight behind intermittent clouds of sable shadow trimmed in silver. The pale moonlight illuminates the otherwise darkened window in the third floor of an expansive mansion in the castle ward of Waterdeep, overlooking the great slumbering stone statue of the Lady Sleeping. The crashing waves of the Sea of Swords against the western shoreline can just barely be heard above the sounds of horses' hooves along the cobblestone streets below. The open window allows the night sounds to drift in and serve as a natural buffer, the secretive conversation taking place. A figure holds a hand up to their mouth, and we hear the whispered voice of a woman speaking. Cain is a fool, but he is invaluable. Take no action, but keep me apprised of his activity. Keep your eyes on the girl, too. Ravona Shadowheart carefully conceals the spider-like brute she was speaking into within the folds of her robe. She turns to a nearby sideboard table where a decanted bottle of deep red wine has been left to breathe. She pours the wine into 3 crystal goblets and places them upon a silver tray and carries them away. As she enters the parlor, her pale elven skin is illuminated by the fire burning brightly in the hearth. She places the tray onto a table in the center of the room and lifts one of the glasses, speaking to the 2 other women in the room, whom we cannot quite see. Dear sisters, I have just received word that our little experiments are progressing nicely. Cain is with them now, and our agent is keeping a watchful eye. We cut to the wagon rolling down the road. We see Mizya seated in the front seat of the wagon next to Doc. Where are the rest of you? Keeping in mind you have exactly 2 horses left. So there's only 1 horse to ride. Where is everybody else in this procession?
Teera's probably riding up ahead on her horse. She still has a horse, right? We still
Only
have
have
You have
one.
1 extra horse beside the one pulling the wagon.
Yeah.
So you could.
I would probably let Assyria or Vorn, who still doesn't look great after his encounter with that dragon, and Teera would walk.
Theria would be trailing behind the cart with Soren. Just wanting to keep Cain in her line of sight.
Cain is probably Cain's walking alongside you, Teera.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Vorn's gonna be probably in the back with Assyria. Not riding the horse, walking, despite how I may look with my dragon burns.
No offense. I mean,
No, none taken. Just, it hurts. It sucks to walk, but Vorn's not going to show that. So
I'm fine. I'm fine.
yeah, I mean, because the feeling of walking is more like having really taut, dry skin that needs a little bit of Vaseline and lotion.
Yep.
Because everything's burned. So
Well, add to that, you're wearing that the Brantifax leather armor that was fairly new looking and not fully broken in. So you've got that sort of stiff leather.
Yeah.
I mean, there's padding and stuff that goes along with it, but you definitely have the, new leathers and
It's
padding and stuff rubbing against your burned skin.
Yeah, it reminds me of like back in the 80s and 90s when I was a kid and my mom bought me brand new Levi jeans and had to break those in.
Wow.
They were starched. They were starched solid. They could stand up on their own.
Yeah. Basically like wearing a cardboard box. But like every now and then, if Assyria takes a glance at me, she'll see me kind of rolling my shoulders, kind of trying to get the armor together and doing that thing that guys do when their groin gets uncomfortable with underwear, like kind of kicking out a leg and every 50 or 60 paces you'll see that. But I'm in the back with Syria.
Awesome.
And Mizzy, you are Mizzy? I just gave
Mizzy!
Mizzy
God, Missy.
I just gave Mizzy a nickname.
Do not approve of this new name.
Miz.
Mizzy. Mizzy and Doc.
Like on the Bernie
Mizya.
Show.
You and Assyria. Well, let's just focus on you because you don't necessarily know what's up with Assyria on this, but you. How are you feeling after having spent the night in the Shadowfell? For those that may or may not remember, Mizya and Assyria seemed a little extra affected by the Shadowfell. How is this manifesting, like with your thoughts and outwardly?
So, as we're driving down the road, right, in the cart.
Yep.
I am very quiet today. And I'm kind of shifty. I'm like looking to one side, I'm looking to the other. Every once in a while, I will just kind of reach out and like place my hand on Doc's arm, and then it's just kind of like pat it, and then I put it right back into my lap. Every once in a while, and I'll put my spell book out and open it, and then close it again. I don't really do much with it, but I'm very fidgety and just acting very nervous, a little bit wide-eyed. So yeah, internally, as we're driving through the forest on the roads, I'm seeing things and they're not registering with me like I expect them to. I see, I seem to be questioning if that tree was actually, did I see a tree there? Was that actually a tree? Is that the edge of the forest that we're approaching? No, maybe it's not. I'll look around and find, and spot the others in the party. I keep thinking that they're not there, and then I'll turn around and look for them, and then quickly kind of gather my senses again and sit back down. But it's never more than a few minutes between just kind of glances and nervous glances and fidgets.
Doc, are you having any reaction to Mizya's strange behavior?
Doc is not the most perceptive character. So after about maybe 2 or 3 hours of Mizya acting oddly, Doc is probably going to say, Mizya,
Oh, you were there, Doctor. Yes. You did say that, right, Doctor? Did you?
yes, I said, Mizya,
Yes, Doctor.
I have a question. No, I have a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you talking to me?
Yes, that's why I said Mizya first.
Oh, you did. I seem to have forgotten. I do apologize. Go ahead, Doctor.
Mizya, what's wrong with your face? It's doing this thing.
Face. Is there something wrong with my face? I don't know. Oh my.
You're going like this, and you're looking at things, and you're patting me.
Am I?
Yes.
I don't know.
Doc is going to tuck his index finger behind his thumb, and he's going to flick Mizya in the arm really firmly.
Wow.
Oh, why did you? Wait, did you just flick me?
Yes.
Okay.
You're there, right?
Am I?
You felt that, right?
Felt what?
He's going to flick Mizya again.
Ow, why did you flick me?
Did you feel that?
Feel what?
Whoa,
Doc is
okay.
gonna
Oh,
flick
no.
Mizya again.
Ah,
As this experiment is going on,
Every like 5 seconds or so, you just hear Mizya going, "Ow!" What?
Vorn and Assyria, you
Uh-huh.
two are walking together. What's going on with you two? Are you talking about anything? Are you just walking away? What are you doing?
Saria is doing the thing where, when you're leaving the house and you're checking.
Mm.
So like, yeah. So you every so often you see her like reaching for her neck. Where probably all of y'all have seen her naked. She's got a locket around her neck, so she like fidgets for that for a second.
No lies detected.
No lies detected. She'll fidget for like her bow and then for her sword for a quick second, and then every so often, Vorn, you'll see her kind of slightly panic when Soren maybe darts behind her to go elsewhere, because she'll be like, "Wait, okay,
Assyria,
hmm,
you all right?
yeah, just tired."
Okay.
I
I know
forgot-
that. Go ahead.
I've forgotten my accent.
You
It's
sound
alright.
weird. Is it the Shadowfell?
Shadowfell.
Yeah, you sound a little something about the way you just said you're fine. I've been in a relationship or two, and I kind of know when something's on the mind
I
when
just
people
didn't
say they're fine,
get much sleep last night. That's all.
right? Hey, I know that we haven't had a lot of time to really get close or bond or really get to know each other, but
We haven't.
I mean we have, but never mind. I'm never good at saying these things. If you want to chat, if you need something, or if whatever it is,
Sure.
I mean, you have my axe, and you also have my ears, and I pork to my pointy orc ears.
I appreciate it. I guess what's your thoughts about this whole thing? And she'll kind of gesture with her, the nod over to Kane and Teera.
It's fucking bizarre.
Flockin?
I mean, is that the D&D word for fuck? That's,
It can
Oh,
be.
I thought it was an orcish word. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I thought
Loosely,
it
it means
orcish.
fuck.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
There we go.
Got it. I wasn't quite sure.
Yeah, it's weird, right? I mean, it's bizarre, and I don't know.
Just don't know
I
if I trust it. That's all.
yeah, and to be honest with you, I'm kind of losing track of what we're doing with everything that's going on, and it's all weird. It's a lot to handle. I thought 1 minute we're at the front of the gates giving books, and then we go through adjacent worlds that are mansions, and then I'm just having a hard time finding my base as to what's real or what's kind of important, to be honest with you.
I feel that. Do we know what we're gonna do with this turtle, anyways? 'Cause everybody we were gonna give it to is dead. So, or left. They left, right? I'm pretty sure they left.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's what I thought.
The three dragon aunties we were going to give it to, right?
Mhm.
I think that was them, and I think they're still where we think they are, presumably.
Are you sure about that, Teera?
I'm not talking. This was scary. Sorry. Apologize. I was trying to help.
No, I mean,
fine.
you can
Jordan
shout back from the
knows.
group.
Jordan knows Teera and Assyria can't remember.
It's fine.
So-
Have fun. I'm sorry.
I do like the idea of Teera just be like, "What? Yeah, we're going
Sorry.
there."
No, it works.
No, it's all
Oh,
good.
Honestly, I'm not sure if I can trust anyone outside of the five of us. to be honest with you.
We might
And-
need to look into some kind of, maybe Mizya has a better idea about this, but some kind of protection from people to scry or watch us. Sorry, Soren's tail is all up in my face. He's very excited.
Yeah.
Soren's on the
but-
horse with you?
No, we're walking.
Nobody's on the horse. We're all too prideful.
We're all walking.
So it's just a
Um,
horse that we're leading. I love it.
No, but just it feels like everybody knows about us, and
Yeah.
we don't really know. Our enemies seem to know way more about us than we know about them.
It's like they're reading a few pages ahead in this chapter than we are. And it just all feels, like I said, the five of you are the only people that I really can trust right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I look up into the sky, and do I see any stars or anything that looks familiar at all?
Given that it's late morning? No.
No.
No, it's probably like 11 o'clock in the morning by now.
Yeah. And I keep that thought to myself, but it's just everything just seems so weird.
Definitely got more complicated than just solving riddles at the library.
Yeah, I honestly I thought I'd be spending more time diving into the studies and learning, and I've spent, I don't know, what, less than a couple of days at the library at best.
If you don't mind me asking, I mean, we seem to all be on a very personal basis at this
Yeah,
point.
sure.
What were you going to the library to search for?
You know, I my tribe, my clansmen, my fellow orcs, I'm trying to break them out of this spell, but I'm losing more hope in that every single day. And I think that is just kind of the way things are. They're under the curse of this I don't know if you would call it an enchanted or a cursed weapon. I don't know. I don't know anymore. It's hard to determine what is even their nature, but that's what I was trying to figure out. But it seems to be all futile at this point. I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I get lost.
I asked you the question. I asked you the question. So, I think it's perfectly valid to do that. I wouldn't say that all is lost. You haven't really had the chance to really dig deep.
Yeah.
Because we've been getting called away every few seconds. So,
Yeah.
next time we go back, maybe we'll have some time. And
don't
Mizya
know.
seems like they would be the one to know a lot more about this kind of thing. So maybe
You ever-
consult with Mizya a bit more.
Maybe. But you ever have that feeling like something really something bad has already happened that you can't reverse, kind of like looking at just to say it, someone who's already been dead for a few days and there's nothing you can do to bring them back, and it's kind of like just deep despair, like nothing you can do about it. That's kind of the feeling I get when I feel about my tribe. And
Well, I think the saying goes, it's not over until the fat lady sings, right? So there's still hope. It's, I guess, not to make it about me for a second, but it's kind of how I feel about looking for my family. I don't know if they're dead, if they're alive.
Yeah.
If they're
Yeah.
being held captive. I don't know any of that.
yeah,
Part of me sure hopes that they're dead, because that's going to bring up a whole bunch of questions of, what have they been doing all these years now without me? But I won't know for sure unless I go looking for those answers, or they find me, because that seems to be a thing. But
right.
I wouldn't give up hope.
You said fat lady sings. Our orcs have a similar saying, and it's something like, it's not over till your enemy's head is on a pike. I'm not sure if that's the same or not, but you know.
I can't say, but I mean, if you're finding any sort of relatability between the two, I mean, that's your interpretation. That's, I mean, what we're doing in terms of finding out what's going on.
Yeah.
So the truth isn't going to be, I think, as simple as we believe it to be. And I don't think it's necessarily going to be in front of us. But
Yeah, to say the least.
I think by the time all this is over, we're definitely needing to rely on each other way more.
Yeah, that's kind of all we got right now, right?
A bit.
And we
Yeah.
slide the camera view over to Teera and Kane as they're walking side by side. And Kane just kind of leans over to you, Teera, and says, "It's been a few hours. None of them have said a word to me. I don't think they like me."
I'm sure they don't.
That's reassuring.
Well, sorry. Got to say it like it is. You'll have to work on them, you know, show them who you are. They don't know you. And what they do know, and I kind of like give the slightest nod over at Asaria. I'm like, is probably not the most pleasant, yeah?
True.
And I kind of like put my hand on his shoulder. I'm like, show them who you are. They'll come around.
Yeah. Don't know if I'm going to be able to be around long enough to show them that.
What do you mean?
I can't go to Candlekeep with you.
Wait, why not? You can come with us.
I still have people that I'm responsible to, and if I don't do something to put them off your trail, they're going to come looking. They're going to send somebody else.
Well, send a raven or something. Send a magical message. There are ways to do that. Say you couldn't find us or you got into trouble or something, and you'll be back when you're back.
Wait, hold. Do you know magic?
No, but Mizya knows a fair amount, and they're pretty good at it. So, I mean, I've seen them do some crazy stuff.
Or maybe you'd picked up some magic along the way.
Oh, not me. And I kind of like flex, and I'm like, yeah, sorry, I don't know what to tell you. That's not my bag.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Yeah, I know, but
No,
it's not my game.
I can. I'm going north with you for a few days, but by the time we hit the main road, I'm gonna have to head northeast.
For how long?
Don't know, but it won't be 16 years. I'm gonna have to take some work, put in some work, to throw the people I work for off the trail. I've got to see if there's something I can give them, stole them. I mean, they're working for years, but they seem very patient.
Teera kind of shakes her head and is like, I don't like it. What if they figure it out? What if they... Are you going to lie to them, or are you going to...
That's why it's going to take a bit of finesse. Lying's not exactly possible. The truth has to be told. The truth can be manipulated.
So what's the plan?
I don't know yet. So I figure we've got a couple days while we're heading north. I'll just be thinking about it. But I just wanted to let you know that I can't just stay with you all this time. But if I can manipulate things in the right way, I might be able to get free of them. And then I can come find you.
And I kind of turn to him and I kind of like put my hand sort of firmly on his arm and I'm like, and then you're with us for good. Yeah?
He kind of looks around at the others and just says, well, let's see.
And I smile and I'm like, they'll come around. They'll come around.
Doc, I would like you to roll me a survival check, please.
I'm great at all wisdom checks. 4.
Okay.
While he's driving the cart, Doc is he's going to call out to Vorn. Vorn,
Doc, what's up, man?
I have a question.
Okay.
Did Mizya hit their head in the Shadowfell?
Vorn looks over at Mizya. What do I see?
You see Mizya staring back at you, wide-eyed,
Oh my God.
just kind of like,
Vorn looks over at Doc in the way that you feel when your mom is giving you that look in the department store when you're acting ridiculous.
Oh man. Oh, that is a distinct memory.
Well, Doc, I'm looking back over at Mizya, like looking back over at Doc, like and he's gonna put his like kind of do one of these and kind of like kind of hold the body, so it's like,
Doctor, is that an orc following us?
No.
And I point right at Vorn. That right there. What is that?
That is a half orc.
Well, technicalities aside, I think it's after us.
It is following us. Look,
Doc,
it's right behind us.
wait, hold on.
We should run.
We're in a cart.
We should
All right.
drive the cart faster.
Doc, I'm going to say something happened to Mizya to which they cannot. Mizya? Vorn.
Vorn. Yes.
You remember Mizya?
Of course I remember you, Vorn. Do you think I am? Silly.
They don't remember at all.
Doc.
Yes.
Izia Mese. It Hisse. Head Hisse?
Yes,
I
yes.
think the half orc is speaking in tongues.
All right, so now Vorn is going to straight out like charades it, like Vorn has never played charades. Syria. Help.
What? Help with what?
Oh, goodness.
Oh no.
What's up with Mizya? They don't seem to. Okay.
Oh my, Assyria! There's a wolf! Watch out!
That's Soren.
Thorin.
Yeah. I think everyone's just a bit tired.
I feel
Oh.
fine.
Well, I think everybody that went to the Shadowfell, perhaps we did get a lot. We did get a lot, didn't we?
I also feel fine.
What's happening with your friend? Are they not normally like this?
No, this is out of the ordinary.
This isn't like an age thing. I mean, I'm not
I
trying
don't
to be
think so.
ageist.
No, there's a.
I just mean
That's
they are
very
quite.
rude. Again, you're not really gaining points here.
I'm just saying they're very advanced in age, and I don't know them, so I don't know if this is normal behavior. If this is not normal, I think I might. I think I might
He
know
could
what's
just
happening.
not give a shit, Assyria. That would be a perfectly normal response.
That
Also,
would be.
Hold
he's
on, easy.
trying to care.
Hey, easy, everyone. We've all been through a lot, right? We all went through this weird realm, and we're trying to cope with all that. Mizya, how are you feeling?
I feel odd.
That's appropriate. Mizya, what is the last thing you remember?
You asked me how I was feeling.
Facts. Facts. Okay, Mizya, can you name all of us here?
This one is the doctor. The mean one is Teera, and Assyria, and
Yes.
Soren, and Vaughn.
Okay.
And
Who's
I don't
that,
care
though?
about that one.
Kane
Perfect.
is
That was
just
a
standing
beautiful
behind Vorn
answer.
going,
Yeah.
What's his name?
I don't care.
Yeah, that's Mizya.
I mean, okay, so Mizya's their personality is intact.
Well, but if that's the case, then what happens when I do this? Doc is gonna flick Mizya
Oh
again.
my god, you're being so abusive.
Doctor, why do you
Look.
keep hitting me?
Because you're
Oh, you remember that I'm hitting you now?
Of course I remember. You've done it like 7 times.
you're
Yes,
calling
that's true. I did do it 7 times, but I didn't do it hard. I just did it like this.
That's 8.
Yes, that's
And
true.
that hurts. Please stop.
Mizya, any reason why you're calling doctor as opposed to doc?
I have always called him doctor.
That is true, I believe.
That's true.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, am I crazy?
I don't
Are
know.
you losing your? Are you
Teera.
losing your? Are you losing your memories too?
No.
Teera,
Blood axe.
Yeah,
do you feel
Yeah,
all
what?
right?
Yeah, I feel fine.
Kane's looking really closely at you.
I like put my hand on his chest and like push him away a little bit. I'm like, I'm fine.
All right. But I don't think your friend's all right.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
If you can... if it's all right with all of you, I'd like to take a moment. We could stop the cart and just let me take a look at you. You've been in the Shadowfell for a good 12 hours.
Hold on. 12 hours?
Yeah.
It was
We were
about
there
12
overnight.
hours.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we've been doing some jumping around.
Do you stop the cart or do you keep going?
I think he's right. I think we should stop. take inventory of ourselves and then continue forward. Asaria's right. We need rest.
Sure. Doc will
Doc.
stop the cart.
Doc, hold on. Doc.
What? Yes.
Well, after Doc stops the cart, I'm gonna walk up to Doc and I'm gonna, hey, yeah, why did you think Mizya hit on the head? I mean, it's obvious, but like, did Mizya get hit in the head?
Okay. Two things. One, if it's obvious, why did you ask? And two, I wasn't there. Why are you asking me?
Okay. All right. So I meant to say, like, it's obvious that Mizya is having a lapse of some type, right? But it's not obvious that Mizya was hit in the head. So I guess
I'm literally right next to the doctor.
I imagine Vorn is like leaning up between them on the front of the car and be like, hey.
Right here.
Well,
I just like peek my head around Doc's chest.
yeah. And
me.
I'm
as Mizya's purple face comes into view, I'm like, oh, okay.
oh,
okay. You asked why I felt that Mizya was acting strange, or rather, why I said that Mizya got hit in the head. Rather, why I asked if Mizya got hit in the head while you were in the shadow. Okay.
Correct.
I'm
First-
fairly. Oh, go ahead, Doctor.
Oh,
I
no, you go
apologize.
ahead, Mizya. I don't mean to interrupt you. If you have something to say, I think it would be good for you to do it.
I don't think I was hit on the head. I don't feel nothing is tender. I don't feel groggy at all. Things are just off.
Okay.
I think something else might be wrong, though.
Yes, that is certainly true. Because when we were riding in the cart, Mizya was looking around like this. And then they were going like this. And then I would ask Mizya what they were doing, and they would say nothing. And then I would flick them in the arm, and they would say, "Ow, that hurts." And then I would say, "Mizya, what hurt?" And then Mizya says, "Nothing." It's almost as though they didn't remember me flicking them in the arm. But now they remember me flicking them in the arm 8 times.
That really happened, Doctor?
Oh,
Hey.
God.
Feel almost as though I dreamt that.
Yes, that really happened.
Like, I remember what you're describing, but it's kind of hazy and I don't feel like it really happened.
Doc is going to flick Mizzy in the arm again.
Oh,
Do you remember that?
yes, that hurts way more than in my dreams.
Yes. That's why I was doing it, because I wanted to see if you were asleep, but it didn't seem like you were asleep. That's why I kept asking if you could feel it. Or is that when you do it to yourself when you're in a dream? You pinch yourself. Am I doing that wrong?
I don't know.
Mizya, I know you never actually sleep. You take your meditations or whatever you do. Do you think you might need a little sleep? Like real sleep?
I have not slept in hundreds of years. I
Maybe
don't think
that's the
that's the
problem.
problem.
Oh.
Well, meanwhile, Vorn is flicking himself in the arm like, what is going on?
Legit. I think we should stop.
So,
We should
well,
rest.
it's already stopped.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
As you all are having this discussion,
Oh, God.
Assyria and Soren have snuck away.
Oh,
None of you
I
noticed
saw you
this.
type, and you sneaky.
Nobody has noticed this. Assyria, you and Soren sort of move out away from the group. You break off into the tall grass, and there's a smattering of trees here and there. You're sort of in a little bit of it's kind of hilly country. You're still relatively close to the foot of the mountains, being only about probably 4 or 5 hours, not even that, out from the chalet. As you are wandering in search of a stream or a pond or something, you hear a trickle of water. And you come through a small copse of trees and you see the broken ruins of a fountain. It looks to you, with your familiarity with the wilderness, like if it wasn't for the fact that it's still springtime and things are just beginning to start to flower and blossom, a few weeks from now, this whole fountain would probably be obscured by overgrowth. You can see sort of the dried brambles around the base of it that are, and ivy and things that are just starting to show signs of greenery. But this trickling sound you hear is there's the remnants of some kind of a broken statue. And from this, water appears to be just dripping out into the fountain in just sort of a bloop, 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 bloop. And you see that what looks like carved out of stone are these 4, it almost looks like the stone is carved to look like swirls of water, sort of arcing up almost like a wave. The stone is very old looking, and the water within this fountain is murky. What do you do?
I shall kind of admire the fountain, trying her best to memorize it, but it keeps escaping her. And you kind of actually see as she's breathing in and just letting the sounds of the forest and the fountain kind of hit her, like she's been tense this entire time, and just for a moment her shoulders kind of droop. She is going to take her canteen out to try and get some of the cleaner water. Ugh.
Yeah, the
So-
water that's trickling out seems
Yeah.
to be cleaner.
Because her canteen is almost non-existent, so she's going to need to fill up.
You have a passive perception that's pretty high.
Yeah, plenty.
You, as you're kind of leaning over and starting to fill your water skin, you hear a twig snap behind you.
Quickly draw a sword.
Whoa. You turn to see Kane stepping out of the woods.
Good
I'm
gods, can I just get 1 minute without you actually in my face?
like 15 feet away from you at least.
You in my face.
You wandered away. It's not safe to do that.
You're not my father. And you better keep an eye on your sister. So I'm fine. I've got Soren. Thanks.
You're not fine. You feel a bit off, don't you? Something's not right and you can't quite put your finger on it.
It's a bit presumptuous of you.
It's not presumptuous. You, if I'm not mistaken, you just went into the Shadowfell for your first time ever, yeah? You've never been there.
So
And you just spent 12 hours there. And now your friend, the old one, they're acting weird.
they're just
One minute
tired.
they remember something, the next minute they don't. The tall one keeps flicking them.
Let's talk. If you're gonna be with this group, you might want to learn everyone's name.
Do you know everyone's name?
I do.
Do you feel extraordinarily angry, or is this your mood normally?
No, it's just my mood when I'm around you.
All right, it's understandable. He's making a show that his hands are still up.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to do anything, and I'm not going to come any closer. You're standing next to this old fountain you found.
Mm-hmm.
Just look into the water. Look into the surface of it, and look at your reflection. Tell me what you see.
She'll kind of raise an eyebrow.
He takes a step back and just kind of leans against a tree that he's near. I'll stay right here.
Perfect. She'll kind of take a... It's more of a sigh for show, but for her, it's more of a steadying kind of breath.
Mm.
And she will take a look into the water.
Make an investigation check.
Oh God.
It's poison.
Like if it was just her face, I feel like an investigation check would not be warranted.
Okay, 18.
The surface of the water holds still, but every few moments, as this water sort of bloop, ripples spread out, disturbing the surface a little bit. And it takes you a moment to realize that something is just a little bit off. As you're looking into your reflection in this pool of water, you have behind you the blue sky. So you see your face is almost silhouetted. You don't really see a lot of detail.
Mm-hmm.
And in the moment between these ripples from a splash, you see what it is that's off. You see all around the edges of your silhouette, it looks like shadow is just rising off of you like steam. Everything all right?
Fine. Just tired.
Make a deception check.
It's most definitely not fine.
Not good at deception.
She's an honest girl.
9.
He takes a step forward, pushing off from the tree. Still has his hands out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask you again. I can understand you wanting to not trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Syria,
Mm-hmm.
what did you see?
I didn't see anything.
Make another deception check.
Fail it again. Fail it.
Well, I'm rolling with disadvantage, so
Oh, yeah, right.
literally, it's
Oh,
everything's disadvantage too.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ew.
Oof.
It's so bad.
I'm only trying to help you.
I know.
The Shadowfell affects everyone differently. I think you and your friend. I think the Shadowfell is clinging to you. It's dangerous. The Shadowfell is... It's the antithesis of our world here. It is a dark reflection. Dark things in this world are drawn to that. If you and your friend Mizya are affected by the Shadowfell, then we're all in danger. Assyria, behind you at the fountain, you hear bloop, 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 bloop. The dripping water increases. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Sorry. Sorry.
Gary is being a
I
distraction.
know, I'm sorry. It's that and
Sorry.
bloop 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 was reminding me of a cartoon when I was a child, so that's why I
Oh,
started
no.
laughing.
No.
There you go. There
Sorry.
you go.
Sorry.
Center.
So as you hear this increase in the flow of
She
the
will
water,
step away.
you step away from the fountain.
Yep.
Do you look at the fountain?
She'll glance at it, yeah. She's not gonna just step away. Like she'll take one last look of what she was seeing in the water and kind of glance up at the fountain, and then
As you glance at the fountain, you realize that those 4 waves that were statues appear to be liquefying and oozing into the water.
Oh.
And when we come back from break,
Oh,
I'm going to have
no.
you and Kane roll for initiative.
shit.
Oh no!
I'm actually going to
Just
have
the-
everybody roll for initiative. And
just the
you can-
two of us.
if you look in chat, there's a brand new emote,
oh,
a roll for initiative emote in there.
new emote.
But yeah, nothing. I don't know what it is with this party in particular. You just like to split yourselves all the time.
Well,
Listen,
Assyria's
we're all very
natural-
angsty.
Yeah, and
We
have
to go off
Assyria's
by
a loner.
ourselves.
She wanted a moment, and it got ruined.
When we return from break on this week's I Was a Teenage
fault.
Werewolf.
Jake, get out of here.
All right, we're going to take about a 10-minute break. We'll be
Wow.
back at 9:25. We will see you all on the other side of the break. And we're back, and I'm going to have everybody roll for initiative.
Oh, no.
Oh my god! I rolled a good initiative for once, guys.
And you're not even
So,
there.
Assyria, what do you got? Oh, see,
I rolled
Is that everybody?
See, you
what?
know,
Yeah, I know, but I'm asking for them in an
Oh.
order so I can enter them.
this,
Yeah.
this,
Unless you're
this-
like Dwight,
No, I
who
just
just
got
rolled,
excited.
who
I'll
rolled in
wait.
D&D Beyond, and it autofills for me.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So listen, I rolled a 20, but since I have disadvantage, I have to go with my second, which is a 1. So plus 7, that's an 8. But I
Doc,
rolled a 1.
did you not roll by clicking on initiative, Doc?
I did.
That's weird because yours. I saw your roll, but it didn't autofill.
I don't know. I clicked the initiative button. I rolled, and then I said it. You said it was easier to do it in D&D Beyond. So
Well, apparently it didn't work for everybody. So Assyria, what do you have?
I rolled 1 plus 7, 8.
All right, Teera,
19.
Doc,
7.
Born.
You know what it is. It's a nat 1.
No.
Oh god.
What's your? But you rolled a 1.
I rolled a nat 1. I have no modifiers to improve it.
Yeah, you do. You have a +1
You-
dex,
yeah, you
right?
should have. Yeah, you should have a +1.
I rolled
your
initiative,
initiative.
right?
Yeah.
It says
Yeah.
+0.
Well, that's weird because it's telling me you have an initiative bonus of 1.
Okay, well then
Did
I
you
have
put
2.
the armor on him? Is that
Yeah.
that armor maybe?
I'm not sure what's going. I'll take a
Oh
look.
wait, never mind. Never mind. I'm a fool. I rolled intelligence instead of initiative, which is also appropriate to why I got a nat 1.
Still very meta.
It's just all this.
All right,
it's
so
so meta.
re-roll, and
My
what'd you
mind is
get?
blown with how meta that is right now.
Wow.
And guess what? I rolled a nat 1 again.
Oh,
So
no, God.
It was fated to be.
it's faded. Nothing we can do about
You
it.
need to roll actual dice. I
That's
swear to
only
God.
for 101
Oh.
sessions with Jake. You know I'm special like that.
My
That's
God.
true.
So
That's
I just
true.
realized,
I'm
and
so
this isn't going to work right now,
contrarian.
but I'll have to
Ah.
remember it. I should have added Keen to the party because he's not showing up the initiative tracker. Nonetheless, Mizya, Teera, I'm
Die.
skipping you because you're not there. Assyria.
Sure.
No, you're not. Sorry, you're not next. Kane, sorry, because Kane's not showing up in this order. Kane sees what's happening, and he immediately pulls his longsword, and he comes running up alongside you, Assyria, but keeping his distance. He's like social distancing. So he's like 5 feet away from you. And he just, as he's holding his sword in his hand, he's readying an action because right now it's just these statues are melting down into the fountain. All right, whatever you got going on, it's gonna have to wait, I think. Now it's your turn.
Okay. So I see the flubbers going into the fountain.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I would like to hunter's mark one.
Okay.
One that's closest to me.
Sure.
And she is not wanting to get her sword out. She's gonna get her longbow and an arrow.
Just a
Yeah,
reminder,
she's-
you had your sword out already.
That's right, I forgot. I would like to switch, please. If possible.
You would be
If not,
able
no
to
biggie.
sheath and draw a new weapon, but you wouldn't be able to attack them
Okay. All right.
because you already had one out.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Then that's fine. She'll go ahead and then try to hit Flubber with her longsword, please.
Okay.
Okay. So that is gonna be a 15 to hit.
That's going to hit.
And that's gonna be 15 points of damage. As she just comes swiping down, almost squishing it.
As you slice into it, you see the water sort of momentarily, you actually see the water sort of slice, and the slice stays for a moment before it sort of settles in like a non-Newtonian fluid.
Mm-hmm.
But you also hear this coming from your sword. Your sword now has a -1 penalty to damage as you see the blade, dark spots appear on it where you cut through this ooze.
Shit. Okay.
But you did 15 points of damage to it, you said?
I did, yes.
Mhm.
Ooh, okay. Free action, she's gonna look at Soren and as like seeing her sword all singe. And she's gonna say Doc, which is his signal to run to go get Doc and the group.
Oh wow.
What's Soren's speed?
Soren can run 40 feet.
All right, so if he dashes, I'll say it's going to take him a round to get to them.
Okay. So he takes off immediately.
All right.
That's it for me.
All right. The ooze that you just cut into, immediately you see the water where it sort of splashes in together, goes and forms up into this pseudopod that starts to lash out at you. That's going to trigger Kane's held action. So Kane is actually going to take a swing at this. And he gets a 9.
9.
It's a clumsy swing. but you see that he slices into it, dealing. So you see as he slices into it, and it just sort of cuts this pseudopod off, and it just, and part of the water, it just spills down. But from his sword, you hear that as he also takes the -1 to damage as his sword corrodes, and you just hear him curse, "Son of a bitch!" So
Boy after my own heart.
the other 3
Oh, that's
oozes
right. There's 3 more there. I forgot about the other ones.
are going to attack. So that's going to be evens are Assyria, and odds are Kane. First one attacks Kane, second one Assyria, third one Kane. So 2 are going to attack Kane. As these pseudopods sort of fly out of the water and lash at him. The first one is going to hit, and then the second one is going to miss him. As he gets hit, this sort of just this wet slaps up against him, and he takes bludgeoning damage from that. As you see, it knocks him a good one upside the head. But he actually cries out, "Ah!" as you, from the side of his face, hear, as he also takes 8 points of acid damage.
Ooh.
He, all right. And that is then going to take us through the oozes. Whoops. Teera, make a perception check.
Okay, sure will. Here we go. Perception is terrible. A 5.
Okay. You guys are just chilling out. Mizya, make a perception check. You guys are continuing to have this conversation every once in a while. Doc's flicking you. And then
that scene in Fellowship where literally the 2 people are talking and saying goodbye while everybody else is battling.
when suddenly out of, well, actually, we're going to go to you first, Assyria, you and Kane. As we come back around, Kane is going to take his sword. He just drops it on the ground alongside him and pulls one of the axes from his side. Actually, he pulls both axes, and he just starts hammering at the water, or chopping at the water. The first attack is a 19 to hit. Second attack is a 21 to hit.
Oh, so strong, yeah.
5. He does a total of 12 points of damage to one of these things.
Nice.
But you notice that his axes are taking acid damage as well. So that's done. 12 to that one. Assyria, it's your turn.
Okay. I would like to trade weapons, please.
Really?
Yeah, please. The sword means a lot to her.
So you can you can drop your weapon.
Yeah,
and
she'll drop
and
it
draw
for
the
now.
new weapon.
Yeah. So she's gonna just drop it real quick and then quickly lombo.
All right.
And she's gonna make an attack. With disadvantage, that is going to be a 12.
That's gonna hit.
Ooh, okay. Heck yeah.
Really? Good to know.
Good to know.
Well, Kane hit on a 9 earlier.
Yeah. 9.
Oh, I Bad
That
about that.
is gonna be 14 points of damage.
Okay.
She's just aiming for the center of this ooze.
All right.
And she's just gonna be like, where the hell is Doc?
Doc, as as Assyria says, where the hell is Doc? Doc, all of a sudden, out of the corner of your eye, you see Soren come charging out of the brush and runs right up to you at the wagon towards the front, and much to the horse's chagrin, just starts and then kind of takes a few steps back, like towards the brush, and then and then takes a few steps back, like he's trying to get your attention.
Oh, hi, Soren.
God.
And you can make an insight check if you want,
Alright.
to see if you can figure out what he's saying. But he does seem agitated and not playful.
I am using a domain tome to roll with advantage.
Okay.
There you go.
Taking a page out of Cari's book.
That okay.
Pun intended.
It's fine.
Well, luckily I rolled a 20. So that gives me 19 insight.
Whoa, there, jeez.
Yeah, you are very certain that Soren is trying to tell you something, and seems to be trying to tell you to follow him.
All right, Doc will hop off the cart and he will look at Mizya and he will look at Vorn and he will look at Teera and he will say, "It seems like Soren wants me to follow him. Would you like to join me on an adventure?"
I turn and I'm like, yeah, Torin, come on. And I look and I notice for the first time Torin is freaking gone too. And I'm like, yeah, should we hurry? Is it urgent, you think?
Soren, seeing that Doc has started to follow after him, runs several feet towards the small copse of trees. And I would say at this point, you probably hear the sound of a sword ringing off a stone coming from the woods.
All right, Doc will proceed forward, following in Soren's footsteps, and he's going to look back, and he's going to say to everyone, "Tally ho!"
All right, so Doc is heading off. Vorn, are you following?
Vorn, tally ho. Okay. Vorn grabs his axe and is shouts out to the group. Soren seems on to something. Maybe we should follow, but he's not going to follow until the rest of the group follows after Soren. So in other words, trying to hold the rear guard, if that makes sense.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're all starting to get around. Mizya, what are you doing?
I watch as everybody runs off,
Oh no.
and I just kind of look confused.
Vorn didn't run off though. Just FYI.
If you
This
haven't
scene-
left, Vorn isn't leaving.
Yeah, I'm sitting in the cart. This seems wrong. And
I'm
don't
sprinting. Dead sprint.
Okay.
Mizya, I think you should follow. I got your back if you do, but I think Soren's on to something. And at this, we need to, yeah. And I'm
I
kind of
don't
looking around
think
the woods.
you're
as I say.
real.
Oh God. Oh no. Oh,
Okay.
no.
That's an existential crisis that I'm not prepared to deal with right now. But Mizya, if it's not real, if it is a dream or an illusion, then the best thing to do for the dream or the illusion is to follow the troop. And I'm going to be behind you. Okay, so follow the dream.
I think not.
Oh,
I will
God.
stay here.
So Vorn and Mizya are going to be behind on this next round. As back at the fountain, the 3 remaining oozes are attacking Assyria, and Torin/Kane. So Assyria.
Oh, Vorn goes Flark and just kind of like grips his eyes.
Nice. Assyria.
Yes.
That is a natural 20.
Oh, okay.
As one of these pseudopods kind of catches you. Actually, I'm going to roll on the brutal wounds table.
Oh no.
no.
You're gonna get amnesia.
This is
Like Mizya.
This is bludgeoning. Actually, oh shoot, I don't have my.
I should roll concentration. I already know.
I'm already going. I'm prepared and charged for that reroll if Jake succeeds. So go ahead.
Do what you will.
Listen, it's fine.
Hold on. Here we go. Assyria, roll me a d12.
Okay.
You get a cool scar, Assyria.
3.
Okay, I'm just determining where on your body you're getting hit.
Okay.
So you are taking bludgeoning damage to your limbs. Now roll me a d20.
13.
Okay. You are caught off guard as this pseudopod that has risen up sort of drops down and reforms lower, shoots over the edge of the fountain, and nails you right in the groin, knocking you prone. You are incapacitated until the end of your next turn, and okay, that's a little extreme. I'm going to ignore that last part,
What?
especially since you don't have testicles.
She is a lady.
I am a
It'll
lady.
hurt.
But
It'll hurt a lot.
you are also punch drunk until the end of the encounter, which means you have disadvantage on attack rolls, saving throws, and you cannot take reactions. You just
Double disadvantage.
you just get nailed. Well, if you already had a disadvantage, then yeah, you're just disadvantaged.
Yeah. Frick.
So yeah,
Can I see this at all?
you're not there yet.
Yeah, y'all aren't there.
No, you
yet.
guys are held behind a round because Mizya's stalling.
Yeah.
So that's just the first. I haven't even rolled damage yet. So you, Assyria, are going to take 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And
Cool.
you also, as the pseudopod hits you and sort of lands on you,
Yeah.
you take 23 more points of acid damage.
I'm down.
All right. So if I
And-
got hit in the groin with 13 points of damage, I think I would die.
And
Hang on.
we had already determined that 2 of them were hitting you.
Yeah.
That means that the second one piles in on top of you,
Yep. That's
and that is an
automatic.
automatic double death save fail. Or yeah, it's an automatic crit, which is 2 failed death saves.
Oh my god.
Mizya.
Oh no.
Hold on.
This
Mizya.
is
Hold
bad.
on.
Dude.
You know what? Go ahead. Go ahead. You role play that out while I roll this next attack on Kane.
Oh
Mizya.
my god.
Mizya. Do you... Okay. What would it take? What words do I need to say to compel you to move out of this
That is
cart
so
right now?
cool.
You are a figment of my imagination,
Okay.
and there's nothing you can say to get me to follow on your little quest.
Okay,
So I will
Mizya?
stay here.
Mizya. What would Mizya need to say to Mizya to get Mizya to move forward right now?
Dude. No.
I have no idea what you just said.
Okay.
It's
Mizya?
probably because you're not real, and I'm all confused.
Mizya. My instinct, my orc instinct, wants to knock you out and put you over my shoulder and drag you forward. But I really need your help and your compliance right now. All right. The world, the universe, this reality, our existence depends on you and your intelligence and your magnificence and your discernment. We need you as figments of your imagination. We need your mind to persist as existing. Will you help us continue to exist?
You make a compelling argument.
Okay. Will it compel you to move?
Power of Vorn compels you.
As Vorn yells at Mizya, we cut back to
Hold on. Yell in the way that you yell at your spouse when you're trying not to yell at her.
because
Yes. Oh.
okay, through gritted teeth.
Oh my god.
We cut back to the fountain where we see the third ooze attempt to hit Kane, who completely sidesteps it and chops down with his damaged axe, damaging it even more. The ooze rolled a nat 1 versus Kane. Unfortunately, that axe also takes more. It's cumulative damage. Which then brings us to Mizya's turn. So, Mizya, how do you
Oh,
react to
God.
Vorn yell, not yell at you?
I need Vorn to roll a persuasion check
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
with advantage.
Yeah, for his compelling arguments.
I told
And
Dwight
not
we could
yelling.
either roll this out or he could decide if he was compelled.
And I don't decide things; the dice decide. And then
Oh,
I'm
my-
going to contest that with Constitution. So
Oh
with
my
this,
goodness.
but I will roll it with disadvantage. So you have to beat a 19.
I mean,
You're
I don't want to
kidding me.
bother. I don't want because I know how these digital rolls go.
Mhm.
But
But you
We're gonna
never
do it.
know.
You're rolling with advantage, though, dude. You never know.
Oh my god, hi Duval.
If
Uh.
Assyria dies, I blame Mizya.
I
Squarely.
got a 14. I don't want to burn all the tomes re-rolling 25
Roll it
times.
with advantage because
I did, and that's what the
Oh, you
14
did?
got. Because I have a negative
Okay.
1 on charisma. Like I'm an
So
orc.
you can
Oh, yeah.
spend
Mhm.
you can spend 3 tomes to re-roll that.
Oh, but
I'm
like
not sure if
he
it's
would,
gonna get better.
he would need a 20. He would need
Yeah.
a
I need
20.
I need a 20.
Oh my god.
It's up to you if you
It's
want to
not-
re-roll it or not.
Abandon.
Oh my gosh!
Abandon
As
them,
much
dude.
as I hate this, I hate this thought. Can I knock her out? Can I just
The- why?
Them.
Why?
deck them? Them, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Well, Vorn
I
is
don't wanna
going to
do this.
punch an elderly person.
Can I?
It's
No, never mind. I'm not there.
it's utilitarian. You know what? I'm not gonna punch them. I think I'm strong enough to just. Oh,
It would be an attack roll for
Why?
non-lethal.
God.
this is. Damn you, Mizya!
Or you could just leave them there, you know.
Yeah, you could just
No.
leave them.
No, I can't. The greater good has to prevail.
Oh my god.
And we're going to.
I'm stressed.
We're going to grapple with it because
Oh
I'm
my
good at grappling.
god.
And I'm going to take them and throw them over my shoulder.
Ugh.
All
I
right.
hate doing this.
Strength
Bro,
athletics.
Mizya.
you succeed because this is not happening,
Oh,
and
okay.
Misha's just along for the ride.
So are you not, Mizya's not even fighting
Oh
this?
my god.
No, Misha's just over Vorn's shoulder, just like looking around, like
All right. And
Yes, I am Gary.
Mizya's pretty lightweight. Hollow bones and all. So you're just suddenly running into the woods. I just picture you with your great axe in one hand and Mizya over your shoulder. As
And the whole
Oh
time
my
I'm going through the
God.
woods, I'm just saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
as
Mizya,
so
fucking fool.
as this happens, the camera sort of just zooms really low past Vorn carrying Mizya and zips quickly through the brush to where even passing or actually catching up to Teera, because Teera, you would be up next in the order. And at this point you come bursting out of the woods to see Kane with two hand axes slapping at the water. You see the water is sort of spilling out in slow motion and covering Assyria, who is unconscious on the ground.
And okay, so would this have taken my full movement to get here?
No, you've to this point. So you're starting your turn with fresh movement
Okay,
and everything.
good. Okay, I guess as a free action, I yell to Kane. I say, "Kane, get her out of here!" And then I
Little busy.
I run at the one he's hitting, and I want to attack the one he is attacking as well.
All right.
Okay, here I go. Hitting it with the great sword with a 13 to hit.
That's a hit.
Great. That is 11 points of damage.
You slice into one of these things, and you, as you hit it, it disincorporates with a hiss. Yet another warrior has attacked with a heirloom weapon that is now permanently damaged.
I was gonna put it away, but I didn't know.
Your greatsword now has a permanent -1 to damage.
Permanent?
Yes. You can click on your weapon, click customize, and add a -1 damage modifier.
Okay.
And it will calculate it for you automatically. But you did destroy the ooze.
So Torin has yelled, "Little busy," and then I look at him and I'm like, "Not anymore. Go get her." And then I want to put the sword down and pull out my scimitar, which I have.
He's still there's still the two that are on her. But Torin/Kane is going to not do anything yet because it's not his turn. Assyria. I need you to make probably the most important death saving throw roll, because you
have inspiration, dude.
You have 2 failed death saves.
Okay. Which dice is gonna be nice with me?
Do it with inspiration, dude. You have.
Can I do it with inspiration?
Yes.
Yes.
I can. Okay. I would like
It's a
to
D20 roll.
You have inspiration that
Yeah.
you're going to use, not a domain tome, correct?
Yeah, I have inspiration.
Either way is fine. I mean,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Okay. And what's the inspiration? Is it a D6?
No, it's just
No,
it's just a second D20.
It just gives you
Okay.
advantage on
Okay.
your roll.
Okay. Okay. Thank God for advantage. That is gonna be a 13. It was a 9.
I have to ask this though.
Yeah.
What is affected by your condition right now?
Sure. So I am exhausted.
Which gives you what?
It is disadvantage on ability checks.
She's not saving throws.
Right. Correct. That's what I was
Yeah,
checking.
that's 3. I would
so
have
you
to be an exhausted
succeed.
3.
Well, and also your Shadowfell despair effect,
Mhm.
because you are unconscious, I'm ruling that it does not affect you.
Okay.
Just to keep that in mind.
Got it.
Because that's sort of a conscious thing that's affecting you. So you
Right.
have succeeded on one
Yep.
saving throw.
Oh my god, the stress!
Soren has come charging back into the area. Will Soren attack at the oozes that are on you?
I don't want him to, but I know he would.
Well, you're unconscious, so you can't
Yeah.
tell him to
Yeah,
stay
I
away.
know.
Stop.
Yeah, I can't stop him. I wouldn't want Soren to, but Soren, he's gonna attack the thing
Yeah.
that just knocked his friend unconscious. So yeah, he's gonna go
no.
for it.
His teeth will take
Um,
a perm. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god!
His teeth
He's
aren't
a
metal.
gummy boy.
His teeth
Yeah,
aren't metal,
gummy
so he's fine.
boy. That is going to be a 19 to hit.
Yep, that's a hit.
And I need this creature to make a strength savings throw or be knocked prone.
It is an
Ooh, I
ooze
don't
that cannot be
like that.
knocked prone.
It's not nice. Okay. My brain is
I
like
will
so
say-
stressed out right now.
Jordan's like, oh, great, thanks.
Cool,
Yeah, sorry,
thanks.
what was the damage on that?
It's gonna be 10 points. I rolled 2 4s.
All right.
Damn.
So
Ugh.
Soren just comes charging, like just doing that full sprint, comes in, grabs a hold, and sort of tumble rolls over top of you as half of this thing just kind of goes and turns to liquid. It's still on you. But Soren did a fair number on it. Doc, you come into the clearing to see this scene laid out before you, and you see. Oh wait, sorry, because Kane would also have had an opportunity to do something at this point. Kane is going to use his action to try to pull these oozes off of you.
Okay.
Don't think that's going to be a problem for him. That's a 19 for him.
Wow.
Kane just sort of, you see Kane just lean over Assyria, and he just sort of just grabs this armful and lifts, and you just hear.
Oh, wow.
As he steps off to the side, seeing you come running in, Doc, he just kind of stands there holding this and looking at you expectantly. And then he kind of glances over at Assyria on the ground. So what do you do, Doc?
Doc is going to walk forward and he's going to kneel beside Assyria.
Oh my god.
And he's going to lean into Assyria while she's unconscious. And he's going to whisper something to her that only she can hear. And then he's going to cast Cure Wounds on her for 7 points of healing.
Mm.
Oh my god. Okay.
It's like the last scene in Lost in Translation. What does he say?
Assyria, you, as Doc is leaning over you, you catch this rush of oxygen and pain because you did just get groin punched, and you are still punch drunk. Yeah, it's not great, but you kind of see I'm gonna let it go at this point, but I knew I was asking for a reason. The punch drunk was what would have given you disadvantage on the saving throw.
Mm.
Oh,
That was my mistake.
got it.
So
Oof.
I will remember that in the future. However, yeah, you have just regained consciousness. You are a bit dizzy. I imagine the way Doc's leaning over you, you're kind of looking up at him upside down.
And I'm sorry, how many hit points was that?
Seven.
I was seven. Okay. I was in shock of what Doc sent me. So that's why I was a little surprised.
And that is your turn, Doc. Vorn, you come charging through the brush with Mizya over your shoulder, axe in hand, to see Doc leaning over Assyria just as she sort of is gasping for breath. Teera has her blade out. Kane seems to be holding some kind of murky blob that is actively burning his arms as he's just sort of holding it like this as you come running into the clearing. What do you do, Vorn?
Vorn is carrying Mizya on his shoulder, and when he sees the scene, he puts her down and he says to Mizya in their ear, I want you to imagine that you save all of your friends, your imaginary friends, right now. Save them. And he sets Mizya down and, points at them.
And go.
All right.
Save your imaginary friends.
Do you take any action?
No, besides putting Mizya down and readying his axe, that's what he does.
Okay. Okay. Torin / Kane holding on to this thing, this bundle of ooze, which is actually 2 oozes.
God.
You see this thing sort of like blobs sort of forming into these pseudopods. One sort of tries to form to strike at him, and it just sort of falls away. So the first one missed. The second one is going to check his AC. The second one just all of a sudden just goes poof, uppercuts him.
Ooh. Oh.
And you hear the solid thump, this hitting somebody with a wet bundle of cloth, followed by a as Kane takes, that's not too bad, 2 points of bludgeoning damage and 4 points of acid damage. And just for flavor, I just imagine as he's holding onto this thing, he's like, somebody do something about the color, as it just keeps punching him with these little like slimy fists.
It's fine.
That is going to take us to the top of the order to Mizya.
Oh God, Mizya.
So Vorn has set me down, and I am just kind of looking around, and I still just look kind of confused, and I kind of shake my head a little bit, and I look at Assyria, who is still on the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I see just the carnage in front of me, and I just kind of shake my head, and then I just kind of draw myself up, and you just see this like stern set of my jaw, and I pull out my hand and I flick my wrist, and my quill is there, and I will cast 2nd level magic missile at the oozes. So 2 each.
Nice.
Two. There's 2 oozes, right?
Yep.
So each of them are going to get 2.
I mean, it looks
missiles.
like one big ooze that he's holding on to, but yeah.
So that's going to be 8 points of damage to one, and 9 points of damage. 10 points of damage to the other.
Whoa.
So you launch these. Well, let me ask you this: in your current state, what does your magic missiles look like? Do they look any different, or do they look the same?
I think they look the same as the normal. They're just the purple and black darts. Again, I took a moment to kind of steel myself. So You know,
We see this view as Mizya, you sort of just imagine that view of the camera looking at you where the background seems to change, but you're sort of focused in the middle. And then you just, and then we follow as these darts start flying through, like just moving past the peripheral of the camera view. And we see them getting closer to Kane, whose eyes just suddenly get wide. And then, and they hit into this bundle of this just big blob that he's holding. And just all of a sudden, it turns to liquid and just spills down his front. And he's just left standing there completely soaked. Just tendrils of slime dripping off of his burned skin. As he
God.
just goes, right, glad you're feeling better. Oh.
I as he says that, and I see what happens, and again, that's all of them, right?
Yep.
At this point,
That is it.
I look around, and again, I've just got this really confused look on my face, and then there's just this brief moment of clarity, and I just collapse straight down onto the ground and just kind of sit there in a hunched over. And then there's just this very barely audible like whimper coming from me as I just kind of like hunched down, staring at the ground by my feet. So,
What about the rest of you?
I look over. Is Asaria still like recovering?
Looks dazed.
The punch
I
drunk
run over to
is
Asaria.
gone.
Oh,
The
it's
encounter's
gone?
over, so you're just sort of it's kind of like your double vision is sort of settling in now, and you're just that total feeling of relief after getting just punched in the groin.
Asaria, you all right?
Fine.
What happened?
Those
What
things
the
are-
hell were those things?
I don't know. But they attacked us.
And I look over at Torin, like,
They just rose up out of the fountain. We were standing
why
here
the hell were you
talking.
two here anyway?
He followed me. I was getting some water because my flask was pretty much gone.
And I
wanted
was
some water.
making sure she was all right. You all were arguing.
No, that was smart. Asaria shouldn't have gone off away from the group without telling anybody.
Kane walks over. He kind of looks at his axes. Oh, shit. Slips them back into his belt. Picks up his sword. Looks at the blade and goes, well, shit. He starts to sheath it. And then he holds off. And you just see him sort of step up on the edge of the fountain. And he's kind of looking at the water. And then he just jumps into the water. It just goes up like to below his knees. And he just starts randomly thrusting his sword into the water in places. And then he sort of quickly moves through the water, dragging the sword back and forth. Completely soaked at this point. He just looks over at you all and kind of flips his now wet blonde dreadlocks back. And, but, sorry, just making sure there weren't any more.
And as Teera notices that, her eyes kind of get big and she runs over and finds where she dropped her sword and looks at it. Is it all like pockmarked and acidy? And
It's not
gross?
terrible, but there's a very clear place where you struck into the ooze that it's probably a good 12 inches of just this darkened, discolored, and pitted metal.
And Teera looks heartbroken and just sort of like looks and like kind of like shakes her head and says, Assyria, you shouldn't have gone off by yourself. I was dumb.
Sarah doesn't say anything. She's just kind of maneuvering over to her sword.
Doc is going to touch Asaria's shoulder, and he's going to give her 9 points of healing. And he's going to say, it looked like you were in bad shape there for a little bit. Seems like you turned the corner, though. That's good.
Thanks to you.
And Vorn's gonna say to Teera, like, easy, Teera. I'm sure she had her reasons,
Right.
right?
You don't want to kick her while she's down. Jeez.
Easy. Easy.
Hello.
Siri, you
Siri,
okay?
I'm like, I'm sorry.
I just find it interesting you're interested in what the group is wanting and their safety. Or what I think, especially after your comments yesterday.
Kind of like stand a little straighter. I'm like, what does that mean?
Exactly what I meant.
What comments? I don't know what you're talking about.
As I recall, when we were in the Shadowfell, did you not say to him that you could care less what I have to say?
I say,
And
yeah.
essentially, you were deciding for the group that he was coming with us without talking to the group.
He's my brother.
I understand that.
I assumed because you're all my friends that you would understand, that you would welcome him.
I don't know about welcome, but it's not really.
I assumed at least you would understand.
I do.
Then why are you upset?
Because I think you're jumping into this without a clear head.
You shouldn't be the one talking to Syria about not having a clear head.
Shut it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Vorn puts his hands up and he goes, hey now, Teera, a brother of yours is a brother of mine. Right? Syria,
Say thank you.
it's all been a little weird, okay? Let's just all give each other a little bit of grace.
So you're going to just
Mizya,
let it
you
go,
good?
the fact that he brought into your face that mark of yours as well?
Hey, I have my feelings, but right now, look at us. Look at us. The 5 of us, right? We're all we got. We are all we have. We all we can trust and depend on. Let's not go to war with each other, okay? There's enough in this world and in the wilderness and out there that's trying to kill us. Let's just all just take a breath. It's over. Hold on. Mizya. Mizzy? Mizya?
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
What did you just call them?
I just kind of
All
look
the
up.
above.
I again, I'm just hunched over, looking down at the ground in front of my feet. I just kind of roll my shoulders back and look up at Vorn and just kind of tilt my head to the side.
Are we okay? Are we good? I
don't know.
and you know what? I'm sorry. That's the most honest answer any of us can give right now. We don't know. And we just need to, let's not say anything that we can't take back, okay?
Listen. Your friends. I think they're suffering from some kind of Shadowfell sickness. What I can tell, the rest of you seem all right. I know she's not right. And they definitely seem a bit off.
Hey, all things considered, we all are a bit off, okay?
No,
look-
I'm
No,
fine.
I look at
Oh.
Torin. I'm like, what do we do about it? There's got to be a cure.
You wait it out. See if they're strong enough here to resist it. You only spent 12 hours in there, so maybe it doesn't have a deep hold. The more
Yeah,
you go
well,
to the Shadowfell, the more you're in the Shadowfell, the deeper it can seep into your pores. But it comes down to Strength of will.
You know what
And
this
rest.
team needs? We need a bard, someone who can sing us a song. My goodness.
Doc is going to he's going to walk over to Teera and sort of slide up beside and behind her, and he's gonna sort of tap her on the back. It's like, how did you miss me? I'm not very small.
I don't know, Doc. I'm distracted. What do you need?
He's just gonna tap her sort of on the back and, you know, say, it could always be worse.
That's true. Thank you.
Like we
You're
could all
welcome.
be dead.
Yeah.
But let this be a lesson about digging up children's graves.
Oh my God, Doc. I turn around full on to Doc, and I'm like, noted. Thank you.
You're welcome. I try and be helpful where I can.
And then I turn to Asteria and I'm like, not right now, because my blood's up and I'm pissed about my sword. But we will have a chat, you and me, and we will hammer this out, and I will be a good listener. Ugh! And then I like kind of like walk off into the woods just to walk around and punch trees or something.
Oh, don't
As-
leave without telling anyone.
Yeah, you're going off. Just
You all
what
know
you're
damn
doing.
well where I'm going.
Mm,
I won't go far.
mm.
Where are you going?
I'm literally walking like probably just out of their line of sight, just into the cups of trees to punch trees. Literally, just to, it's like Rob Stark when he was like real sad about Ned, just hitting the hell out of freaking trees, and just there's a lot of feelings coming up.
As you do that, and in the moments as you sort of say that line, I'm pissed about my sword. You glance down at that spot, and you see that the shadow of the pitted steel seems to gloss over with perfectly fine metal. And for a moment, it's completely unharmed, and then you just hear, as it only lasts a few seconds, and it's just as it was, damaged.
Oh my God, it's like ripping my heart out over and
Oh.
over. I hate it. I put it back in my sheath. I don't want to look at it anymore. I don't want to feel things. I just want to go bloody up my knuckles.
All right,
I'm furious.
you're going a little ways away to punch some trees.
Yes. Yep. Sure
Sorry,
am.
Vorn, you were starting to say something.
Sorry.
Yeah, Vorn's just gonna look at the whole scene as Tyrus like kind of storms off into the night and looks at Assyria, and what like is Assyria just staying put? What are you doing, Assyria?
She, at this point, has knelt down to get her sword, and probably Vorn and Doc, you kind of see this. She's been putting on this stone kind of wall this entire time, and just for a moment you just kind of see it crumble, as again kind of similar to Teera, she sees the wreck, like that her sword's been wrecked, and kind of just all of the memories of what just happened kind of flooding over her.
Yeah.
Just a look of like regret, look of pain, a look of confusion, and she
Doc?
looks pissed at herself.
Doc is going to walk over to Assyria, and he's going to kneel beside her, very similar to how he knelt when he healed her. And he's going to make sure that his back is to Vorn and Mizya, so that they can't sort of see what he's doing and what he's saying.
Mhm.
And he's going to lean in, and he's going to very gently take her hand in his hand, and he's going to put both of his hands around hers, and he's going to say, some loads are better left shared rather than carried alone. And he's going to sort of cock his head and look into her eyes, almost as if he was trying to see through them, like they were they were a window. And he's going to say, and my shoulders are broad, so I can help.
And Vorn looks over to Mizya and says, "You got one hell of an imagination."
Amazing.
From within the fountain, Kane looks over at, he kind of looks around and sees this moment happening with Doc and Assyria. Teera's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So he looks at you, Vorn, as he's holding in his hand a leather satchel that is just saturated. You can see the water the leather has just absorbed water. Like it's been in this fountain for who knows how long. And he just sort of holds it out to you and he goes, "No more of those oozes, but I found this in there. Looks like there's a knife, a couple of potions in here. I mean, doesn't look like anything I need, and well, I'm not really a part of your group," so he just kind of sets it on the edge here and says, "You can do with that whatever you want."
Hey, you're a brother of Teera, so that means you're my brother. Whether we are close or not is irrelevant, but my axe is yours. And I look at the pouch and I open it up and I see the items inside and I say, "Appreciate it."
You see despite the fact that it's been sitting in the water for who knows how long, you see that there is a very shiny, untarnished dagger with a spider design on the hilt.
Ooh, cool.
A round potion with a thick red liquid inside it. And there is another potion bottle that has what looks almost like ink, but when you move the bottle, it seems to move very slowly and it makes the bottle feel really heavy.
So very viscous and distance. All
Yep.
right. Vorn, as an ass, looks at it and goes, "Well, this isn't an axe," and then passes the. How far is Doc and away from Vorn right now?
At this
Maybe
point,
paces.
We're
just a
not
few
far.
feet away.
Yeah,
Just
we're
a
not
few feet
far.
away. And I'm assuming Mizzy is within like short width apart, right?
Yeah, you guys are all right in the same area
Yeah,
except for
we're
Teera.
really close together.
Okay. Doc, Mizya, any take on this?
Any take on
And-
what?
And then he just immediately looks over at Mizya and be like, "Hey, what do you think?"
I look up and I just kind of shrug and look, and I continue just shoegazing.
Resha,
Yeah.
if you're unsure, just ask if this is real or not real. I'll answer back.
I just kind of nod and
We'll get through it.
It's real.
No,
Ah!
yelling, I don't think is going to help the situation. but-
As Vorn
I am
yells,
not yelling. I am about to go in the forest,
all right, as
punch trees like Teera.
as
I understand. And I
You're
just
always welcome.
as Vorn doesn't yell,
I shove the pouch into Doc's chest and I'm like, you figure it out. And I
Go
look
after
at
Teera.
Mizya and through gritted
Go.
teeth, and I'm like,
Thorn, take a walk. Take a walk. Go find
Are you-
Teera. Go find Teera.
and I walk away the way like you're trying not to yell at your children. I'm like, I'm not a figment of your imagination. And I'm like,
Doc is going to take the pouch that was thrust at him so politely.
and it's kind of like at like upward arcs, like, and it's kind of like into like your hands and steer them. And I'm like,
and he's gonna look at the dagger, and he's gonna trace his finger along the spider-like pattern. Almost,
it's a spider as he walks into it.
almost like you walked away. You don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you
sir.
don't know what
Yeah,
he's doing.
I'm just
He walked this
I'm
way.
storming and mumbling and
So
growling.
he's gonna trace the symbol on the hilt of the dagger, almost reflexively, like it's something he's seen before. And then he's gonna hold the dagger in his hand and he's going to cast Identify.
Can I roll an insight check on Doc for that?
No,
She's right there.
I mean, I would say, yeah.
Just because that's a very peculiar look that Doc's doing. Hi, Salem.
I believe you have disadvantage on that anyway.
Yeah. Why are you scared, Doc? I have disadvantage. She's been watching Doc and how maturely he's been handling everything. Of everyone in the group, he's been the most stable.
He's doing such a great job.
He's doing
He's a
such
rock.
He's
Rock
such a great
the rock.
job.
Yeah, I
wonder
reached
if
my
it has
breaking
some-
point. I
wonder
tried.
if it has something to do with the decision not to dive headfirst into the children's grave.
Could
Yeah,
be.
it could be that. Could be that. You know.
Gary, I
Um,
sent you the
got it.
results
Thank
of your
you.
Identify.
Hi. With insight, that's gonna be 11. That's not good.
Now, I don't think you'd be able to discern what Doc's doing exactly.
Valid.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Jordan.
No, I was just gonna say valid. She's
Okay.
just kind of eyeing Doc, not necessarily like suspiciously, just kind of like seeing Doc in a different light.
Doc is going to look at the dagger and he's like, it's magical.
There's,
Yeah.
as you when you pulled it out, you also noticed, Doc, that there were a handful of coins and some jewelry in there, in addition to the 2 bottles. The bottles will have to be identified as well,
Okay.
which you can do magically or you can do during a long rest.
Yeah, I can do it during a long rest. I can do it ritually because I have it memorized.
So as you all are doing this and we see Vorn kind of stomping around angrily, trying to figure out where to direct his frustrations, we pan away from this.
Hold on. He's got Ricky's got
Yeah,
something.
hang on, Ricky's
Yeah.
got something.
Only because I just imagine that after like 20 or 30 seconds as the storming off into the woods, I hear like this distant pounding into like thick tree trunks, and I see Teera on the side, and I kind of walk up within like 10 paces of Teera, giving her space, and I put my guard up, and I'm like, you want to go a few rounds?
As soon as I hear Vorn's voice, you would see Tira's like her shoulders are like really tense, and you would see like a there's a bloody splotch on the tree by now, and her knuckles are bloody too, and then she just like kind of like her shoulders slump, and you see her hands are just a mess, and she kind of turns to Vorn, and you would notice also she has her sword out of her scabbard again, and it's up against the tree, like where she can see it, almost like it's on display. And she turns to him and just kind of shakes her head and is like,
And then
Not right
He-
now, I don't think, Vaughn.
And then he kind of opens his arms as an gesture to either come in for a hug or sit down next and just sit down and look at the sky, whichever one is most comfortable. And
I hug Vaughn immediately.
yeah,
I just
and-
sort of like you would feel Teera like holding on hard to you.
Yeah.
And after a few minutes, you kind of feel her like shaking, kind of. But
yeah,
she's
that
trying
like
really, really hard to stay quiet.
that quiet, sobbing, racking
Mhm.
cry that people do. Yeah.
Yep.
And Vorn just kind of wraps his arms around and just, and just lets it occur and happen and
Mhm.
let the tears flow.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and he just goes, yeah, I know. And just kind of does that thing that you do when you rub a friend's back. It's like, yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's it. Sorry, Jake.
And the camera just slowly pulls away to a wider shot as Teera cries into Vorn's shoulder. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session. That's so much better than what I was going to end with. So
What were you gonna end with?
I'm not going to tell you. You have to wait till
Oh,
next
You
week.
punch in a tree.
Mhm.
Nope.
Wow.
No, that was.
Oof,
Oh.
I
My
would
God, the
like-
stress.
you guys are good at.
I would
this.
like each one of
Same.
you to take a point of inspiration. That was a hell of a
Oh,
session.
Aw.
This was one of those sessions where I didn't have to do a
Thank
whole
you.
lot. You all were just role playing your asses off,
That's
God.
and I
good.
love
It's
it.
good.
I absolutely
Oh my
love it.
God.
So,
Wow.
yeah, that is
Wow.
episode 30, My Brother's Keeper.
Wow.
Sorry, I just Cari high up on your frame on camera. One of your cats just went.
Yeah. Doink.
Oh, so there's a bookshelf. You can't see it. It's just off here. And one of their
Hi,
most
baby.
amazing acrobatic feats is they get up there. Like it's a crazy jump. But then when they're down, they're like boom, 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 and they're
Yep,
gone.
that's all I saw was a cat jumping in
Yeah.
the frame.
Yeah. It's like
I don't know
quantum
if
leap.
Stream saw it because he might be.
Just
Maybe,
out
Cropped
of
maybe
out,
frame.
but-
just out of frame.
Anyway,
Oh my
that was
God,
one heck
stress.
of a session. You all made it roughly half a day's journey away from the chalet.
Ugh.
So such a
And
long journey.
no, this is one of those like playing a chess match, except I had several different places where I was going to do different things, and then you guys kept just taking narrative control, and I'm just like, go. So that was beautifully done, and just all the way around, everybody just did some amazing role play. So take your points of inspiration and cherish them, because I'm terrible about remembering to give inspiration.
Thank you.
And I'm just setting up because we
I almost
are.
died.
You dude, you were so close.
Yes,
I had
you
that
did.
inspiration, I would have died. I rolled
So-
a 9.
Oh my
You
god.
so yeah, that may have played out differently too, because
Yeah.
I forgot you were supposed to
me
be
into my
disadvantaged, so
anxiety
you
toy.
would have had to take that first roll.
Yeah.
So you may have actually died if
Yeah.
I was managing a lot of things. So you got
You
lucky.
had a lot going on.
It's
and
destiny. It's fate.
she literally has a lot of things going on, to be fair. So
So
there was a lot, but yeah. Oh boy.
So, as we get ready
That
to
was
head out of here,
stress.
in just a few moments, please stick around because we are going to, we're going to be rating a style pixie.
Yee.
So, we're going to send that right over there in just a moment. But I do want to say, we have on Thursday, the Dawnbringers will be returning with session 2
Woo!
of season 6, Wild Beyond the Witchlight. The episode is called Childlike Wonder as they
Oops.
step into
Wasn't for you, Jordan.
the Witchlight Carnival.
All good.
And yeah, just be sure to, if you're not doing so already, you should be following all of these wonderful people on their social media. And I was getting to it, but thank you for reminding me, Cari. Dawnbringers is sponsored this season by a new sponsor, Session Zero Clothing, which is worth mentioning because Cari and I are both currently sporting Session Zero merchandise.
Nice.
Yep, Cari's got the shirt. I've got, it's hard to see because it's black on black, but I've got my Session Zero ball cap on. And I have to remember what I set the chat command for. I think it's just 0. So we do have a affiliate link that just popped in there, and you can use code MTD0 to get 10% off of your purchase. So they just restocked on a bunch of stuff too. Got lots of awesome stickers, hats, sweatshirts, t-shirts, all kinds of cool stuff. So be sure to check that out. Were you saying something, Jordan?
Yeah, I was gonna say, remember to tune in on Saturday for the TTRPG Awards over
Yes.
on TTRP Gifts channel.
Yep. Throw the shout out in there again if you didn't already.
Yeah.
Be sure to check that out because we've got Scribes and Scrolls is nominated, Cyberpunk Independence is nominated, Talon and Claw for our Evangeline one shot is nominated.
I've got a couple nominations.
Jordan's got some nominations.
Yay.
Check it out. It's an amazing award program put on by our resident owlbear, Robo. So with that, I do want to say, before we head out of here, a huge thank you to everybody in chat tonight. Just thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out with us. And if you are one of those people that chooses to lurk silently in the background and not participate in chat, thank you. We appreciate you all the same as well. And of course, I would be remiss if I did not say a huge thank you to these wonderful humans I get to play with each week. Thank you to Gary, Jordan, Cari, Dwight, and Ricky, without whom it would just be me talking to myself for a couple of hours. With that, we're going to go ahead and end this stream the same way we end every stream. Don't forget to stick around for the raid. But we're going to end the stream the same way we end every stream, and you can say it with me if you want.
Let's go.
Do, 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 do.